We're going to get things right over to Chief Meteorologist Deidre McKenzie. We've got a tornado warning impacting some of our viewers. Deidre, what do you got?
Hey, so everyone, we do have this threat for severe weather. We have this threat that we've been talking about for a while. Thus far, it's been more so just damaging wind, but now we have an active tornado warning in place. This is for the Clark County area. It goes until 7:15. And so with this means that we're looking at an area of rotation. And as you see here, we're looking inside of the storm right now. This is our velocity signature. And with this, we are looking at, again, some areas of rotation that could eventually spawn a tornado. This is radar indicated. But again, with this, we are looking at an area that is threatening potentially to spawn a tornado at a moment's notice. So it's very important that you go ahead and get to your safe place and make sure that you are, for the most part, getting to that lowest level away from windows, a bathroom, or a closet. Can you tell them to fix that TV right there? It's not coming on. All right, so here's an overall view of the setup here. I'll zoom in with our radar as we get our television kind of set up here so we can kind of show you what's happening. But I'm looking at different things here in terms of where the rotation is. It's a little bit hard to detect, but it's right around that equipment area. So if you are in equipment, you want to go ahead and get to that lowest level of your home. You want to get away from windows, a bathroom, or a closet. Again, if you're anywhere around, let's say that what looks to be Highway 45 corridor. If you are around that Linton area, you want to get to your safe place. If you are anywhere near downtown equipment or east, this includes parts of 18, the Sykes community. If you are around, let's say, looks to be some county roads here. If you're around County Road, let me give you a better perspective here. County Road 440, go ahead and get to your safe place. We're looking at an area of rotation inside of the storm as we look at the inner structure of it through our velocity signature. And again, it's giving us an indication that the storm is rotating and it has a good possibility of spawning a tornado. I have Tori here, and we're going to be tracking this for you. This is not it. This is a kind of a noise that we're seeing here. But again, we're kind of watching the area right in there. So overall, again, if you're just joining us, we have an area of rotation. Right now, the storm is showing signs that it is rotating based on our Doppler radar, and we are under a tornado warning for Clark County. This does include the city of Quitman. So if you're in Quitman right now, go ahead and get to your safe place. If you're along Highway 18, get to your safe place. 45, again, make sure you are in the lowest level of your home, away from windows, a bathroom, or a closet, because we're looking at some very dangerous conditions here. The area of rotation is a little bit harder to detect with this particular setup. But again, if you notice any of these county roads, you want to go ahead and get to that lowest level. County Road 142, you're under the polygon. If you're around County Road 444, or should I say, 444, get to your safe place, you're under the polygon. Same setup for 672. So zoom out, Tori. Again, I'm here with meteorologist Tori Alvarado, and we're tracking this area here. You want to make sure that you are in your lowest level. You want to get away from windows, a bathroom, or a closet. What looks to be an area of rotation more so here, I think that is more so noise. Again, it's a very odd setup here. It's not easily detected, the rotation with this, but this is out ahead of that main line. It's right on the edge there, and this is where we can get those quick spin ups. So again, if you are within this polygon as far north as 514, you want to go ahead and get to your safe place. Give me more of a linear, if you can, Tori, more of a linear track, because you're not quite sure exactly where that rotation is. We have an idea, but it's kind of a little broad, so it's kind of hard to kind of pinpoint. But again, this storm, do you know, Tori, is moving fast at about what, northeast? Is it 60 miles per hour?
Let me find the report.
Okay, again, but here's a look at the latest information. If you're around the Sykes community, go ahead and get to that lowest level. The storm is going to be upon you in about 10 minutes.
Moving at 40 miles an hour.
Okay, so as you make your way towards Energy, it'll be towards you as we head towards 646. The Snell community as we head towards 651. And if it can hold together to move towards the Cyril area as we head towards 657. Again, we have an active tornado warning right now for a storm that is developing along that main line. Can we switch back to the reflectivity if you can, Tori, and kind of zoom out just a bit so we give a better idea of what's happening with this. These storms are right along that main line, that line of thunderstorms is kind of coming through. Go ahead and zoom out if you can. Again, we're looking at this line here. Right along that, we do have this little Boeing feature, and it's another one that is now impacting parts of Choctaw County. Now, we'll say if you're in Choctaw County, the warning is south and west of you for this cell near Waynesboro Waynesboro, but it is expected to maintain its strength a bit, so it's going to be pushing into southern Choctaw, okay? So you have 2 active tornado warnings in effect right now. Central Clark County, if you are anywhere near downtown Quitman, south of there near 45 and east of 45, around central and northeastern Clark County, get to your safe place right now. These things can happen quickly. We saw the line coming in for the most part. Again, not a whole lot going on with the storms. They were moving through our western zones outside of very strong winds, but we see how fast things can ramp up. Now we're tracking 2 tornado warned storms right along that main line. This one going through Quitman. You can expect strong winds regardless of if we ever have any confirmation of a tornado. Those winds are creating damage in and of themselves potentially because they're so strong. In the storm, the winds could gust over 60 miles per hour, and we're really keeping an eye out on this Boeing feature right about here that's now kind of east of that I-45 corridor. Also going down towards Wayne County, if you're going to be in Silas, Gilbertown, surrounding areas near Highway 84, this storm here is approaching Wayne County, or should I say Waynesboro, so you have some time to kind of maneuver yourselves and get to that safe place. But this storm is heading towards you, and you do sit under a tornado warning, and this goes until about 7 o'clock. Right now it is almost 6:30, and again you have about 30 minutes with this one, and we have until 7:15 for the one here that is in the Clark County area. So we're going to go ahead and zoom in. We'll start north and work our way back south because again the one coming through Wayne County, we have time before it impacts you in Choctaw County. This one is right on top of the Clark County area. Can we go ahead and switch over to velocity? I know it's a little bit noisy, so we can get a better perspective of what we're dealing with. And if you can zoom out a little bit before we zoom in, Tori, that'll be helpful. Again, we have the main line here. I do believe that what we're watching is right about here. Again, now east of 45, just based on the reflectivity that we saw, the Boeing feature was roughly right about this Highway 18 corridor and south of there, I think is the bulk of it. So we'll start, if you can, Tori, right around that Highway 18 corridor, a little east of 45, and then move towards the state line there if you can, and we'll give people, in terms of your track, if we can give them a track, that'll give you all an idea of timing for what we're watching. Again, right about here, and we're going to go towards that state line, which is eventually could push into parts of northern Choctaw County if it can hold together. But again, here's a look at the latest setup. It's moving northeast at about 40 miles per hour. It's going to move towards the Manassas area. Okay, she's readjusting the time. But again, if you are in this polygon, go ahead and get to your safe place. Lowest level away from windows, bathroom, closet, storm shelter, basement if you have one. Again, Tori, you got that right about there. A little farther, that'll work, and to go ahead and move it towards the north and east. And again, Manassas is going to be towards you as we head towards 636. You have about 5 minutes to get to that place of safety over towards the energy area by 645 or 43, and then eventually towards Snell as we head towards 647. And again, based on this timing here, over towards Hinton as we head towards 650. Now again, with this setup, with this a long line of storms that's rolling through. This also extends up into Lauderdale County. Thankfully, as of right now, you do not have any warnings, but you see how fast these things can ramp up. If we zoom out a little bit, Tori, just to kind of give a perspective of what we're watching and switch back to velocity. Again, what we're watching is kind of sparking right along this line of thunderstorms. So if you can zoom out just a bit, Tori, and make your way towards the reflectivity, we'll give an idea of what's kind of sparking all of this. And this is a line of thunderstorms affiliated with the strong cold front that's off to our west. So if we can zoom out, let's look at the viewing area as a whole. Here's this line that is stretched back from down towards Waynesboro. It's going through the Clark County area, sparking that tornado warning cell, and also pushing now through Meridian. Again, if you're in Meridian, and if you're wondering, are you under a warning? You're not under a tornado warning, but we do still have an active severe thunderstorm warning in place for the area. Again, this goes for a little while longer, roughly about 15 minutes or so, maybe a little longer than that, but you want to stay inside. You don't want to travel because these spin ups can definitely pop up at a moment's notice, like what we're seeing for those areas south of I-20. And within this area, we would somewhat expect it to possibly have a few spin ups as we have a little bit more instability as you get south of the I-20 corridor. But again, the line does extend up throughout portions of Kemper County, and again, it's going to be shifting east. So again, if we can kind of get a little bit closer, again, Choctaw County, you're under a warning, but the warned storm is still a ways away. You have time to go ahead and get to that safe place because you definitely have about at least 10 to 15 minutes. But again, this storm is sitting right on top of Clark County. If we can leave it there, Tori, and switch to velocity and see if we have a little bit better perspective. Again, this is somewhat of a harder cell in terms of trying to see exactly where that rotation is just because of the setup and the makeup. It's not that, but again, we are looking kind of right about here. I do believe around the center portion, east of 45, east of downtown Quitman. This is what we're watching for possible area of rotation that could quickly spawn a tornado. And with this system, it has a lot of wind damage in and of itself, or should I say wind energy in and of itself that could create some damage. So right about that region, a little bit farther south of there, that's where we could have the worst rotation. So if you can give me that more of a broad view and then kind of zoom in a little bit, we're looking at that setup again right about here. She's circled it for you, getting a little bit tighter to give some communities, again a little bit harder, but if you're in the polygon, you want to definitely be in that safe place, mainly south of that I-20 or should I say County 18, County Road 18 corridor, and right about there, and then moving east is what we're going to be focusing on. So we can take it down to street level, if you don't mind. Sykes, we need to be in our safe place. Same deal for County Road 670. You want to be in that lowest level of your home, away from windows, bathroom, or closet. If you're around that County Road 430 area, get to your place of safety. Same deal for County Road 424. We can go a little farther south, Torrey, 423, get to your safe place. Again, here's 18. This is an area where we could really have the more in the way of the rotation based on what we saw with our velocity signature there. County Road 415, you need to be in your place of safety. Same deal for Nichols Lane. Again, if all of this sounds familiar, make sure you get to that lowest level away from windows, a bathroom, or a closet, as we have a tornado warned cell that's pushing through the county based on radar. So again, has not been observed as of yet. Hopefully it won't, but the storm is rotating and based on what we could see. So you want to be in that safe place. Same deal for 418. 670, again, get to your safe place. County Road 413, same deal for County Road as mentioned, 670, and over towards Dim Hall Lane looks to be. So again, if you have noticed your area within this photo here, or with this view that we have, go ahead and make sure you're in that lowest level. Grab the bicycle helmets, put on the gym shoes, tennis shoes, just in case you're dealing with this quick spin up that could impact your home. So if we can zoom out again, Tori, and kind of see what we have. Any updates from the National Weather Service about updates with rotation or any reports of damage, anything of the sort?
No damage reports as of yet. They're still keeping that tornado warning in effect, and the tornado warning cell that is moving towards Choctaw County is TDS now, and that storm is moving at 55 miles an hour, and there was a CC drop, which is a correlation coefficient drop, which means that there is damage and debris being lifted into the air within that storm. So that would help better indicate that there is a tornado on the ground, and that again is in Wayne County heading towards Choctaw County. So if you live in Choctaw, that includes Gilbertown, Silas, if you live in any of those cities, if you live along Highway 84, go ahead and get to your safe space now. That's going to be that lower, most interior part of your home, because that storm is moving in your direction. Again, it is 6:36 at the moment. That tornado warning expires at 7, but those storms moving into your area now. So good idea to go ahead and get to that lower, most interior part of your home.
Okay, and so when she's talking about with the drop of the CC, or a correlation coefficient, that means that we have radar confirmation. So go ahead and switch to the correlation coefficient if you can. Keep it there. And stop the frame. We want to see if things are adjusting, meaning you have your radar, you have your velocity, and you have your correlation coefficient all sitting on top of each other. That lets us know that that's a good indication things are happening. So this is what I see in terms of something that looks like the colors are cooling, which means that there could be some debris being lofted in the air, and that the radar is indicating that something's foreign that's being, again, airborne. So let's go ahead and take a look at the velocity. You shouldn't have to change anything. Switch over to that. Let's see if we have anything that kind of lines up with that. Again, doesn't really look like it to me. Potentially shifting a little bit more towards the east. If you can go back to your correlation coefficient, let's see what we have there. And again, if it should be anything, it should be this here. This is an older scan, so more so they would be moving now past 45. But again, we definitely have to be mindful of the fact that, at least based on the reports from the National Weather Service that Tori read off, that we have a confirmed tornado with this. So this is now north of Waynesboro, and it's going to be pushing east and north and east. How fast is it going, Tori?
So the tornado warning cell that is in Jones County and Wayne County pushing towards Choctaw was moving at 55 miles an hour, and the one for Clark County was moving at 40 miles an hour. Okay,
so go ahead, where you see that little drop in the correlation coefficient, give me a latest look at the timing going into Choctaw County for folks. Again, we have a confirmed tornado based on radar, we have what looks to be debris being lofted in the air based on what we see here. So we can go again from this point here is what we're watching. She put on a new timeline for you. It's pushing into the Choctaw County area. And with that being said, again, crossing over 45, it'll push towards places like looks to be Emory as we head towards 655, over towards Silas as we head towards 704. Again, we're talking about Choctaw County. Did you just update it, Tori? What happened?
I clicked the camera tool and it drew another little
Okay,
line.
so we're going to update this a bit. Again, we'll go ahead and clear it if you can. And if you can just give me one more loop so we can kind of look at the latest correlation coefficient. If you can give me a loop before you draw that so we can kind of see where the latest drop-offs are in terms of what we're watching is those cooler colors, those yellows that you see that indicate we could have some foreign items being thrown in the air. So this is what we were watching. Give me a loop. If you can go ahead and loop it at the top. Let's see what we have here. All right, it looks like it could potentially be, go ahead and loop it again. It looks like it could be what's now making its way in the northern portions of the county there. So go back to the velocity if you can, and we're going to see if we can kind of superimpose this and see if we do have those drop-offs right kind of lined up with each other. Again, I do believe whatever we have should be in the northeastern portions of what looks to be the Wayne County area. Maybe this here, but if we go back to the correlation coefficient, it doesn't look as impressive. If you go back again, it doesn't look as impressive. Nonetheless, it's dangerous because based on radar, there was at one point a touchdown as we had what looks to be debris being lofted. So if you are in the northern portions of the Wayne County, most of this area is covered by Hattiesburg, but there could be a few of you that may be watching. You want to definitely stay in your safe place, but we're going to go towards Choctaw County. If we can start it from right about that northeast quadrant of Wayne County and push it towards the Choctaw County area.
When I said I wanted more, I meant more than before.
Hence we have this blinking polygon. See if we have any updates here, and we'll go ahead and give you the latest track. It is moving towards the north and east at roughly 40 miles per hour. Is that still right, or did it go up to 55?
Last update I saw 55. Let's read the update.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and draw this new timeline there, and we're going to push it into the Choctaw County area where again we have a confirmation based on radar of a tornado in progress. Latest information shows it's going to be towards Emory as we head towards 651, over towards Water Valley as we get closer to 657. Gilbertown heads up. It could push your way as we head towards 701 and eventually over towards Toxie as we head towards 703. Again, this is the latest information based on what we have. So make sure that you are getting to your safe place. It's roughly 641. And if you're in Choctaw County, you have time to get to that safe place. I do believe we have an update from Tori.
So according to our chief engineer here at WTOK, there are trees down on 23rd Avenue and Poplar Springs north of 22nd Street. So it's blocking the roadway. So if you do have to get out during this time frame within the next 30 minutes, try and reroute and avoid those areas if possible.
Okay, go ahead and give us if we can, a broader view. I think we have 2 still active tornado warnings in place. Again, traveling at this time is not recommended. You just got that report of some downed trees and impassable roads. So again, we still have this active warning in the Clark County area. As you see, it's for the northeastern quadrant. Go ahead and take a look at the radar in terms of reflectivity to show you what's creating this. And this is this main line of storms that's marching in. If you're west of this line, if you're in Newton County, if you're in the Jasper County area, if you're in Scott County, if you're in Smith County, and even if you're in Neshoba County, your threat for severe weather has ended. Now, again, with this main line, it's going to be pushing into Sumter County here shortly. You want to definitely be on guard and be ready for some very strong winds. If you're in Clark County right now, again, the worst of the weather is now east of 45. It's east of Quitman, so you're in the clear. We're going to zoom in to an area where we have some activity in northeastern Clark County. Again, that's under an active warning for now. We're going to switch over to the velocity signature really quickly to see if we have anything in terms of anything apparent. We do have what could be a little bit of rotation right about here along 514, so it's very important that you go ahead and get to that safe place. This warning is active until about 7:15, so you have about another 30 minutes, at least another 10 to 15 before it moves out of the county. But again, right around 5:14, this is where we do see what looks to be the area of rotation, and this is where this warning continues. So we'll zoom in really quickly there, get an idea of what we're tracking. And again, around 5:14, this is on top of the Snell community. Again, you want to be in your safe place. Energy as well. Down to the county roads, 4:30, you should be in your safe place already. 469, same setup as you head towards 4621. Again, you're in the Polygon, County Road 420. Again, this is around the Snell community, going a little bit farther towards the south. We're looking at some county roads here. 423, again, make sure you're in that lowest level of your home, away from windows, a bathroom, a closet. Hopefully you've left the mobile home and gone to a neighbor's house or a family member's home once that watch was issued. So hopefully you're in a sturdy structure. And again, we talked about 420. So again, if you recognize any of these county roads and this is your area, you want to go ahead and be in that safe place. But again, we do have confirmation based on radar. I do believe Tori mentioned that, there were some drop-offs in terms of what looks to be some debris lofted in the air. Any updates, Tori, from the National Weather Service regarding what's coming out of Wayne County pushing towards the Choctaw County area?
Wayne County EMA is reporting damage. That's the only newest update that we have from them.
Okay, and can you report the damage?
That's all they said they know. They don't know much else other than damage is being reported. They didn't say what kind of damage.
Okay. So go ahead and zoom out really quickly. Let's go ahead and take a different perspective and see what we have. And it looks like the area of rotation is now making its way close to that state line. Northeastern portions of Wayne County, and eventually it's going to push into the Choctaw County area. So let's go ahead and take a look at the correlation coefficient again to see what we have. It looks like it's very near 510 in terms of the area of tightest rotation. Right now we're zoomed into the Wayne County area, and we're looking for an area that shows that there's still some debris being lofted. Hopefully it has lifted, but it's still showing signs of rotation. But nonetheless, the warning is active, and we are looking at this really dangerous storm that is moving into southern Choctaw County. Again, looking at the latest information with the velocity, it looks like the tightest velocity is now in northeastern Wayne County, very soon to cross over the state line. And as far as the area that could be next up, we're looking at areas mainly north of 84. But again, if you're in the Polygon from Silas to Gilbertown, get to that safe place immediately. I don't see too much in terms of a really impressive correlation coefficient or debris being lofted in the air from the latest scans that I see on my phone. But nonetheless, again, if you're in this Polygon, go ahead and get to your safe place right now, that lowest level, away from windows, bathroom, closet, as it looks like the storm in and of itself is going to be shifting east of the state line and is going to make its way into Choctaw County. So again, we actually have a series of tornado warnings now. Again, this is south of our area, but as you can see with this setup, we're looking at a very active evening. All of a sudden, it seems like over the past half hour, these areas of rotation have just popped up. And again, the latest one looks to be, again, pushing out of the Clark County area, but still, if you're in Snell, you want to stay in your safe place. And even if you're into Lauderdale County around the Center Grove Road area, you want to go ahead and get to your safe place as well, just in case. And even if you're in Yantley, this is into the, looks to be the Choctaw County area, go ahead and get to your safe place as this storm is moving towards the north and east. So, Tori, you want to give the latest on the warnings that we have?
Yes, so we currently have 3 tornadoes warnings in effect for around our viewing area and in our viewing area. And again, of course, we have that tornado warning in effect for Clark County. It is currently 6:47 p.m. and that tornado warning is in effect until 7:15 p.m. this evening. And we also have this tornado warning that is in effect currently in Wayne County, but that tornado polygon extends into Choctaw County. That warning is in effect until 7 p.m. this evening. What we're currently looking at is that velocity on that radar, which will show us where that rotation is embedded within that line of heavier showers and thunderstorms that is pushing through Mississippi and Alabama. And right about there along that county line is where we're seeing that rotation sitting at the moment. And again, this storm had that correlation coefficient confirmed along with it. And the correlation coefficient is what shows us that debris or something foreign is being lifted into the air, which helps us kind of confirm that there is a tornado on the ground causing damage. So if you live in Choctaw County and you live in areas like Toxie, Gilbertown, Silas, very, very important to go ahead and get to your safe space. Even though these storms have not crossed the state line yet, it's a good idea to go ahead and get to that lower, most interior part of your home. So that's going to be a bathroom, a closet, away from windows, away from those exterior walls of your home. And don't forget to take something to protect not only your head, but your feet as well. So now what we're looking at is the timing of these storms as they're continuing to push further and further east, pushing towards Emory by 6:51 p.m. this evening, pushing towards Silas by 6:59 p.m., pushing towards Gilbertown by 7:01 p.m., and then pushing towards Toxie by 7:03, and pushing towards Wembley by 7:07. And you can see that the Southern Choctaw County High School was also included in this tornado warning. So if that area sounds familiar, if you live near that high school, very, very important to get to that lower, most interior part of your home, because this is a tornado warning that's in effect, but it's also seeming like there is a confirmed tornado on the ground. Not official, but it is seeming like with what the information we've got on hand is confirming that we might have a tornado on the ground.
All right, so that's an update there. As you see, we do have still what looks to be a rotating thunderstorm, but as you see, we don't have an active tornado warning in Clark County anymore. So if you're in Clark County, you are in the clear. Okay, that warning has expired, but again, the storm is still rotating. That's why you see that rotation there. So just kind of stay put, keep the TV tuned to us, keep your social media tuned to us, or watch our live stream. We'll let you know if anything flares up again with that storm to the north in Clark County. But again, here's the latest on the one coming out of Wayne County and Torrey. It looks like the tightest rotation is just crossing the state line, although it's north of that polygon. But
right.
again, if you're in the polygon, stay in your safe place.
So you can see that kind of green pop right here, kind of sitting in between those three county areas of Wayne County, Lauderdale County, and Choctaw County. So that's what we're watching at the moment. That's what we're thinking is our area of rotation as it's pushing further east now into Choctaw County. So again, pushing towards areas like Gilbertown, pushing towards county roads now, pushing towards Evansboro. So if you live in the Evansboro area, very, very important to go ahead and immediately get to your safe space. That's going to be that lower, most interior part of your home once again. If you live along Hurricane Road, Melvin Cutoff, be sure to get to your safe space. Again, that's that lower, most interior part of your home. If you live in Water Valley or Paragon, very important to also get to that lower, most interior part of the home because those storms are rapidly approaching your area. Again, those storms were moving at around 55 miles an hour per the National Weather Service. So the storm's moving very, very quickly, but we're also watching that rotation that is embedded with that line of showers and thunderstorms that is pushing now into Choctaw County. What we're looking at now is the correlation coefficient, which shows us if there's a change in color, like we can kind of see right here as we get towards the current updated scan. That change in color kind of indicates that something is being lifted into the air and creating a little bit of a disperse from the radar. So,
and a lot of times, Tori, not to cut you off, we want to make sure that that kind of correlates with the velocity. Now, because you can have those, they could be birds, it could be anything that's being lofted in the air when we have the winds that we have for today, but you want to make sure it lines up with the velocity, which it does not. So that's a good thing. It's telling us that at least that storm isn't what's creating the foreign objects in the air. And again, the tightest rotation looks to be roughly right about here, although the actual warning polygon is a little farther south. So we're going to wait to see updates from the National Weather Service regarding what they're going to do with the warning over the next 15 minutes.
Yes, so a little bit of a difference between where the correlation coefficient and the velocity is showing up at the moment. Continuing to watch those scans as they update, see if there's any changes in that, and that rotation kind of, again, pushing out of that polygon that is in Choctaw County at the moment. So if you live in the southern portion of Choctaw County and you may not be included necessarily in this polygon, let's say like Needham, you guys are outside of that polygon, may not be a bad idea to go ahead and get to your safe space just as a precaution. Again, that's that lower, most interior part of your home. And this tornado warning does expire in now 7 minutes, but regardless, that tornado warning could be extended. So just go ahead and stay in that safe space for another 7 minutes. Again, that's that lower, most interior part of your home. we're zooming in a little bit closer. This is the rotation that we're watching at the moment, sitting right around Melvin and Evansboro, kind of along that state line now. So if you live in those areas, hopefully you are already in your safe space. But if you're not, again, that's going to be that lower, most interior part of your home. Definitely take something to protect your head and to protect your feet as well. But if you live along Melvin Road, if you live along that Melvin cutoff, if you live in Octupa, definitely important to get to that lower, most interior part of your home so you can stay safe. And again, those cities that are included in that tornado warned polygon are going to be Gilbertown, Silas, Toxie, Highway 17, Highway 84. If you live near or along those roadways, definitely important to be in that lower, most interior part of your home as well. If you live in Paragon, if you live in Water Valley, definitely important to be in that lower, most interior part of your home. And again, taking something to not only protect your head, but to protect your feet as well. Taking flashlights in case you happen to lose power, things of that nature, so you can protect yourself and stay safe. Are there any updates from the National Weather Service, Dee?
No, not at all.
Okay, so here's what we're looking at now as far as that tornado watch in our viewing area. So Wayne County in Mississippi is still under that tornado watch, but as far as western Alabama, Sumter and Choctaw County are still under that tornado watch, but for eastern Mississippi, all of our viewing area is now clear out of that tornado watch. So definitely something we're still watching there. And now we're looking at the strongest wind gusts that have occurred today since midnight. Very, very windy out there today. And again, as those storms moving through, bringing a lot of strong wind gusts, but the strongest wind gust recorded here in Meridian today was 53 miles an hour. So very, very windy out there today. We're taking a look at our current wind gusts now, where we can see up into Cab, very, very windy, wind gusts nearing 45 miles an hour. Currently here in Meridian and down in Quitman, wind gusts are sitting between 30 to 35 miles an hour. In western Alabama, it's a little bit calmer at the moment as wind gusts sit between 20 to 30 miles an hour, but as those storms are still approaching, wind gusts are going to continue to pick up. So don't let those weaker wind gusts fool you at the moment. The storm's still pushing into your area and still bringing a lot of strong wind and heavy rainfall as well.
Yeah, so wind is definitely something that we've been watching all day, Tori, and now we're kind of looking at the storm growth fuel. And notice how you see the red coloring mainly south of that I-20 corridor, where this is the area where there's enough juice to kind of get those storms going. So that's why we've seen the warnings down towards places like